Do you feel like you're giving yourself the freedom to fail? Like you've made the leap? Like you've gone for it and you're not even concerned? Not many people have, because a lot of people build up so much pressure that literally suffocates them and their emerging business. They think this has to go right. I gotta smash that outcome. I gotta achieve those goals. And so very often, when you got a lot of pressure around the actions you need to take, you don't give yourself that freedom. I'm Marisa Murgatroyd, and I've taught thousands of people how to fulfill their dream of launching a business while generating millions of dollars in sales for my own business. And I want to share something that I teach my Momentum students in my year-long business growth program, because I think this one's gonna really benefit you. So for this particular video, I recommend you take a second to get out a piece of paper or open a blank doc on your computer, because I've got an exercise I want you to try at the end. All right? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I got so much more coming up that you're not gonna wanna miss. All right, now listen up, because I'm about to share how to start giving yourself that freedom to fail so you can open yourself to massive success. So have you ever heard of filming a safety take in video? So a safety take is when you do an extra take, you roll cameras again after you've already got everything you need in the can. And whenever I do a safety take, my performance expands because I already have what I need to shoot. So now I've got the freedom to just play with the next take. You know, this one doesn't even matter. I got all that I need in the can. And because of that, I'm able to expand and just do a different kind of performance and take risks and really deliver in a way that I wouldn't normally. And that's why it's often the very best take. And the safety take concept, it also applies to your business. Because what if you always knew that you have what you need in the can? And so you've got that ability to just play with the work that you're doing and explore and experiment and not worry about the outcome. Almost always, that play and that experimentation and that exploration, when you already know that you've got your bases covered, it's the best stuff. Now the question becomes, how can we get to the place where we really have that freedom to explore without worrying about how it's going to land? Now that brings me to point number 2. And you want to start by shipping your creativity every single day instead of hoarding it, all right? Because the more that you ship, the more that you publish, the more that you send out into the world, the more you build your audience, your people, and ultimately the more you earn. But so often we spend so much time just editing our creations that we don't put nearly enough time into putting it out into the world. But here's the thing, you can't edit life. You can't press pause, you definitely can't press rewind. You just live, you move forward. And in business, it's the same way. And I feel like so many of us are creating this edited version of our business that's preventing this full exploration and expansion into what we can be, because we're so worried about what is or what's going to happen. So we end up not allowing what could happen to just unfold. And we hold ourselves back because we want to realize our expectations for ourselves and our parents' expectations, our kids' expectations, the world's expectations of us, right? For us, it's like the world is looking at all of these things. But sometimes the desire to be perfect, it prevents us from getting started or gaining the momentum that we could. And if you're curious about my Momentum program, check out liveyourmessagelive.com/momentum for more. Now, the third thing to understand when it comes to giving yourself the freedom to fail is that the truth is, when you dare to become more visible, when you dare to be different, you're gonna make some mistakes and you're gonna be judged online, maybe even by your friends and your family. Because when you shoot for the stars, you're not gonna get everything right. So you just gotta accept that as part of the process to learn how to see failure as a step towards success. So what do you do when failure actually happens? What's the story that you write about that failure, about that experience? Because the truth is that failure, it's an inherent part of success. And you get to choose whether you're going to see the gifts and the chance for growth inside of that failure, or you're only going to see the pain, the negativity. All right, that leads me to my fourth point. Here's the thing. You can see the same series of events, the same successes, the same failures from two very different lenses. And let me tell you about one of my lowest points in life. I was in grad school at the Royal College of Art, and we had a senior exhibition. So we had to put our work on the wall and then have these four old white men critique it. So they sat me down, and I remember we were in this circle of chairs, and they proceeded to tell me, Marisa, this proposal that you've put together, I would have ripped it up and thrown it in the trash if I got that proposal in the mail, because it's not beautifully designed. And they just went after me, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I was so shocked that I couldn't even speak, because I knew that if I opened my mouth, I was going to burst into tears. So I just sat there and I took it. And I started to think, I'm not meant to be an artist. But you see, at the same time, they told me, Marisa, you got something that none of our other students have. You've got incredible ideas. And they said this, they actually said these words, Marisa, why don't you partner with one of our other nitwit students who have no ideas but really know how to design, and get them to design your proposal? Now, I didn't hear the positive in this. I didn't hear when they told me I've got great ideas. I only heard that they were going to rip up this proposal. And I kept that dialogue of I'm not meant to be an artist with me for a very long time. Even as I started my career as a filmmaker, I had this gnawing sense that I wasn't good enough. But the truth was that I could see that other version of events. I could have learned the other lesson if I really listened to what they were sharing with me. And that is that I've got ideas that other people don't have. Because among all that criticism was a massive life lesson, a compliment that really is the essence of everything that I've done in my life since then. So when I saw this set of events, when I saw the situation from the perspective of I'm a failure, the interpretation that I had of that was I'm not meant to be an artist. But when I saw those events from the perspective of I'm a success, I realized that I'm a visionary, and I've built a career around teaching and sharing powerful ideas. And the lesson here is that I can collaborate with other people to help me make things that look as good as what I see in my head. But I didn't realize that lesson for a whole another decade, because I only saw the version of that event that I was a failure and that I don't have what it takes. So it took me years and years to realize the gift that they gave me in that particular session. And I had to ultimately write a new story, really a new version of that story for myself. So now it's your turn to do that. Take a challenging moment in your life and rewrite that story of failure. You can start maybe by identifying one of your biggest life failures or your biggest business failure, or you can just find a moment where a specific failure was brought to your attention in an uncomfortable way. What happened? When did this happen? Where were you and how did it go down? And just take note of what event that you want to reframe for yourself and how you can turn it into the version where you're actually a massive success. So I hope this video and this exercise helps you start thinking of how your failures are actually successes. And if you need more inspiration, I highly recommend that you watch the commencement speech that director M. Night Shyamalan gave to students at Drexel University. It's going to help you define your own failures as successes in a really big way. It's just about 20 minutes long, but I really recommend watching the whole thing. It's that powerful. And if you can, drop me a comment below after you do this exercise, because I'd love to know if it changed your perspective on failure. You got this. And if you're interested in getting my support, as well as your own brain trust to gain massive momentum in your business, don't forget to check out liveyourmessage.com/momentum. And if you want more videos like this one, subscribe and also check out my next 2 videos. 6 signs you'll succeed as an entrepreneur in 2023, and why you're only 10% likely to achieve your goals, and what to do about it. All right, see you in the next video, and in the meantime, go out there and live your message.